G'day viewers, we're going to learn how to drive the Class 170 newly released for Birmingham Cross City. This one's the West Midlands livery, but it's the same for cross country, and we've got number 170504. First up, let's dive in, climb into cab and sit in the big chair. Get that door shut. We'll get our master key in, get our reverser to the forwards position using your favourite method. Get the doors open and we'll get some headlights on for day running, and we're going to turn on some safety systems now. So AWS is a 2 switch on this one, so we turn on the circuit breaker behind our head, and we also have to turn it on this panel. So change that to normal, and I'm going to acknowledge with the Q key. It would be B or circle depending on your controller flavour. The driver's safety device will stop the train if you stand up, and vigilance will stop the train if you don't answer the annoying little nanny. You can turn on the GSMR, I believe. I don't think there's any way to set the PIS, because I think it would probably be done with this screen, which is not actually active. Other exciting things. We have windscreen wipers here if you want to turn them on and off. Maybe. There they go. Good, I was just impatient. Alright, I'll turn those off because we don't actually need them. We've done the lights. Tail lights happen down the back by itself, so it'll be fine. Wait until 8:27. Lovely, we're almost there. Sounds good. So let's lock the doors with the blue button. Now you would use the Y key for the left-hand doors on keyboard, U key for the right, or the left and right of your D-pad. Alrighty, now with this one I'm going to use my Xbox controller because it doesn't actually work with the rail driver. Well, actually I think this one does, it's the other ones that don't. So the bottom left-hand trigger is hill start, so we'll apply some hill start, and then I'm going to use the oops, went the wrong way. Going to use the trigger to release the brakes and get some power on. We'll go into notch 3 and I'll release the hill start, and we should pull away. A bit of horn action there. Very good. It still says it's not in service. Lovely, perfect. Early access and all that jazz. Sure, it'll get fixed at some point. They do look quite nice. Bit of weathering on them. We're going too fast, so let's just throttle back to idle, and perhaps let's apply a little bit of brake just to bring us back down. Okay, back to idle. Just a quick squirt. As we get up here with the first of our friendly little AWS alarms, I'm going to acknowledge it, and I'm going to use the B key on my Xbox controller here. You would use the circle key if you're a PlayStation person, or the Q key if you're a PC person. In fact, you can actually use the Q key regardless, so let's acknowledge that one. And the next one that comes along, because you can plug a keyboard into your PlayStation or Xbox if you didn't know, so you can. When this next one goes off, I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm going to let it stop the train because I'll show you how to reset from it. It's not particularly complex in this one. So we'll just keep on rolling up the hill. We have enough momentum to get up there, so it'll be fine. And we will go hands off now because we're about to run over a magnet for a yellow signal, and the thing will go beep and we'll ignore it. See? I'm ignoring it. And any moment now it'll stop the train. There it goes. Lovely. It's done a emergency brake application. And you'll notice that down here, the brake demand light is on. So now that we've stopped, we need to make sure our power brake controller is in the idle position, which it is already. And then we can acknowledge with B, circle, or Q. And now we have to wait for the brake demand light to go out. But we're on a hill, so I would recommend holding down hill start, which is the bottom left hand trigger. Any moment now, that red light will go out. Any moment now. I assume you can press hill start here as well. You can. Look, the little red light's gone out and the brakes are in fact partially releasing. So we will now notch up, and I'm using the bottom right trigger, but you could use the A key as well on your keyboard. And now that we've heard some revs come on, we'll release the hill start and off we go. Lovely. As we head towards a red signal. Very good. So I'll just power off now because we are going downhill and the whole train should be on the hill now. We are approaching a red, so we'll acknowledge that and stuff. Whoops, it has gone green and indicated a feather because we're on approach control. Now we are going to want to keep the speed down. In fact, we want to reduce it and get it below 15. So I'm now braking. And let's go back to B1 and release. It should be enough to just let us slide through here quite happily. Might have to brake and off the brakes a little bit just to keep it under control. We are going to start going uphill fairly quickly. You can see the gradient's already starting to go back to 0, and 0 it has. So we can start accelerating just gently now on our way to Dudestown, the place where all best dudes go. When we get into Dudestown, we'll do a service break. I think this one just goes to Dudestown and to Aston. So we'll, what we'll do is we'll go to Dudestown and I'll show you how to change ends. Actually, there's one thing I should do. Let's do an emergency brake. There's a couple of ways to do an emergency brake. You can either put the handle into emergency, or you can just smack the big red button. So now that we've smacked the big red button, emergency brake is happening. We put our controller back into idle and just let the train come to a stop. And we can release the emergency brake. We are facing downhill, so it won't matter that we start to roll, and we can now power on. And that's it for releasing the emergency brake. Ladies and gentlemen, you may have noticed we came to a stand prior to the platform because the driver pressed the big red button. There's nifty things like wipers that you can turn on down here if you want to. Very exciting, aren't they? Yes. We should probably think about slowing down, shouldn't we? Alright, let's go back to idle and start gently braking. Bit more. Come off the brakes a little and just let it come to a stop. Alright, that'll do. Let's get the right hand doors open so we can use these buttons here to release in the cab, or you can use the right of your D-pad or the U key, depending on your preferences, of course. Now, we're supposed to go on from here, but I'm actually not going to. I'm going to show you how to change ends. So, first things first. Put you to off, power brake controller to idle, master key out, tail lights on, headlights off, and we will hop up and go down the other end. You can leave the safety systems on, it doesn't matter, you will need to turn them on down at the other end before you go anywhere. All these people are now very confused, going, what's our driver doing? And the answer is, he's being a clown. Alright, let's pop on AWS, and over here as well. We won't have to acknowledge it just yet because we have not activated the cab. Alright, so master key in, forwards, acknowledge, and at this point we can close the doors with the blue button, or you can use the Y key on the keyboard or the left hand of your D-pad. And we should, in theory, be able to drive now. There we go. Brakes coming off. Starting to get some power. And there we go. Lovely. That's a change ends for you as well. Alright, that's about all there is to know to drive this train. It is fairly simple. I do have a partner tutorial about Guard mode on this train. It's pretty straightforward, although it does have a couple of issues. The train itself seems to be okay. And this tutorial applies to all the variants of the Class 170, so whichever one you like to drive, this tutorial will cover them all. Alrighty, that's all folks. Enjoy yourselves, and we shall see you later. Got any questions? Chuck them down below, see what I can do to help you out. Bye.
We played a game.